just getting off the flight at Sydney. Very exciting. We just went through international security and we're gonna go to the lounge. There's the Centurion Lounge. We're gonna go check that out and then probably go to the SilverKris. We're Cory and Wallace, an early retired couple on a journey to explore the world. Today, our adventure takes us from Sydney, Australia to Singapore. So, we skipped the Centurion Lounge. It wasn't that exciting. We're gonna go check out the SilverKris Lounge.
We have access because we're flying Singapore Airlines today, so we might as well take advantage of it.
This is the SilverKris Lounge. We just entered. It's much quieter in here, which is really nice.
This is one of the shower rooms in the SilverKris Lounge here at the Sydney Airport. It's fairly spacious, as you can see. Big mirror, sink. You've got some toiletries, hand sanitizer, body, hand lotion, dental kit, hairbrush, comb, and a shaving set here if you need it. You've got toilet, shower with all your body wash, shampoo, conditioner. They provide clean towels and a nice hairdryer. So it's always nice to be able to get a quick shower in and feel refreshed in the middle of a long travel day. Okay. So there's a coffee bar here, coffee drinks. We've got a pretty good buffet selection here. And what's really good is you can probably see there they clearly mark gluten-free, dairy-free, vegetarian, and vegan options. So for Cory, that's fantastic. Some breads. Tea and water station, some liquors and wines, and various beers and beverages.
One of the benefits of being in a lounge is that they have a coffee bar, so I ordered a chai latte. As far as the food options went for gluten-free, they actually had quite a few selections in the SilverKris Lounge. They had at least 4 or 5 options that were clearly marked and clearly identified as gluten-free. So that's lovely, and they had a few vegetarian and gluten-free options. So getting lucky so far. How are you feeling after a 15-hour flight?
Surprisingly good. I actually slept I'm not going to say great. I never sleep great on planes, no matter what, even in business class, but I've slept a few hours, probably about 6 hours in total. So yeah, feeling pretty good. Ate a lot last night at the Air Canada Signature Suite lounge, and so I ended up skipping my dinner, and I basically just slept and watched movies through the night, and I made up for it today with basically double breakfast, one on the plane and one here in the lounge. And so now we're just sitting here in the this is the Singapore Airlines SilverKris Lounge at the Sydney Airport. We checked out the Centurion Lounge first, but honestly the Centurion Lounge was not a good one, so we kind of left there real quick and just came over here because we had access, and this was very comfortable. Food was good, had a great shower, so I'm feeling nice and refreshed, and we board our next flight in less than an hour now. So what do you think of the first flight?
I thought it was a breeze. We left roughly, 11 o'clock?
10:40 was the departure, yeah.
At Canadian time, so I was already pretty tired. So as soon as we got in the air, I laid flat and went to sleep, and I slept for 10 hours. So I would say that was the best. Also, the food, I got to eat the Indian Jain food, which I kind of talked about. But one thing that happened that I was really pleased about was when I talked to the stewardess, they were surprised that I couldn't eat, and they were just like very surprised because they showed me a snack, and I was like, I can't eat that. So one of the stewardess, one of her sisters is celiac, and she was also vegetarian, and she's like, I totally get it. So what she did was actually write a report that they were going to send to management, complaining that there wasn't enough options for a scenario like that. Not sure if anything will ever come of it, but that was incredible, I would say.
Yeah, no, that is pretty good. So for people who don't necessarily know what we're talking about, when you book a special meal on a plane, you can choose one special request, like vegetarian or gluten-free. Unfortunately, if you need both, you're pretty much SOL, and they don't offer that ability. So in Cory's case, she usually orders an Indian vegetarian meal, and because Indian food predominantly is, curries, like chickpea curries, that sort of thing, which happen to be naturally gluten-free. Cory's been lucky enough that she can get away with that for the most part. Just sometimes she has to avoid the naan bread that they like to serve alongside the meal, just to avoid getting sick. So that's what we're referring to there, just for some background info. Yeah, anything else to add?
No, it's nice to be in a lounge after the trip. We both had a shower, we both feel refreshed, and we're ready to get back on the next flight, which is another 8 hour in the air.
8.5 hours to Singapore, yep. So we've got our customs declaration card all filled in, ready to go, and we're just waiting to get on the plane, and we'll see you guys in Singapore.
So the reason we took this routing today, a little bit unusual to go all the way to Sydney to fly to Singapore, but Air Canada had a schedule change and gave us this option. So this afternoon we're flying on Singapore Airlines Flight 232, which is an A380, which we've never done before, and it is a big double-decker, and we're in business class on the upper deck. And that's what that looks like. That is a big plane. So we'll see you on board. Boarding on the upper deck here, which is different.
Good morning, welcome aboard.
Good morning, how are you?
Good, how are you today?
17A?
17A will be on this side.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning.
Hello. 17A. Yes.
Send me a number.
Here's your seat.
This is home for the next 8.5 hours. Okay, so this is going to be our home for the next 8.5 hours. This is a nice pod. We're in 16 and 17A window seats.
I can't get over how much room there is. This is 10 times better than Air Canada. But one thing that was when we got to our seat, our stewardess instantly knew our names. She obviously memorized it prior to boarding and was on it and greeted us with our names. And she was on it for the gluten-free, my special meal, everything like that. So I feel very well taken care of. So she actually just brought the whole meal over and we looked at it. So I'm going to have some dal and korma. There was some bread stuff, but they had it nicely separated, so she's going to take that out. And then there's rice, and I told her what I could eat and I couldn't eat, and she was happy to accommodate. As you can see, the seat on Singapore Airlines is huge. You've got tons
of legroom in front of me. Got a big in-flight entertainment unit there. A little shelf here to hold your drink. There's a cubby there. There's your footwell. Right now that's where my pillow and blankets are tucked in. You've got your menu and flight information here. A pair of noise cancelling headphones. Some power outlets there. And then up here we've got the remote control for the in-flight entertainment. A vanity mirror. Reading lamp. Another USB plug-in, as well as the plug-in for the audio jack for the headphones. And then you got your seat controls here. And then you've got your tray table. Push there. That just slides right out and comes up. And with Singapore Airlines, it's nice because you can actually pivot that and get out of your seat even with the tray table deployed, which is nice, so you don't get trapped in here and your meals in front of you. And there's tons of storage underneath the seat for your backpacks, as well as a big overhead compartment above for your carry-on suitcase.
This is appetizer. I got some asparagus, some carrot, and some quinoa. The quinoa has mashed yam in it. It's really tasty. This is the Indo-vegetarian meal. This is dal, and this is korma, and I can eat it. The korma has zucchini, peas, yam, and I think that's all I can identify. Maybe butternut squash, I'm not 100% sure. This looks like a squash. But this is sweet potato. Not complaining, it's really good. I was unable to have the dessert because it had semolina in it, and the stewardess was kind enough to check it, and she let me know, so she just gave me a sorbet.
Okay, so here is the bathroom. Fairly basic. It's got the funky close-up mirror, amenities, razor, toothbrush, that sort of thing in there. Hand lotion, some facial mist, and I believe eau de toilette spray. Got paper towels as well as some linen towels up there. Baby change table. Yeah, fairly basic. It's clean and definitely does the job.
So, yet again, snacks are coming out. She came to me with the tray and she went over everything. She brought me the list of ingredients. Turns out there was only like 2 things on the tray that I could have, the chana masala and korma. So basically the same thing I'm going to be eating, but the other ones was semolina, the naan bread, and some sort of donut thing. I'm not sure. I didn't even actually recognize the ingredients, so I just opted for no. But I can't get over the service. Like, I don't think I've ever had the tray brought to me before it's heated up and asked what I could eat. So, yeah, that's my experience on Singapore Airlines. So, because I couldn't eat any of like the side dishes to the curries, they're heating up some extra rice for me. It's so sweet. This is my second meal. The chana masala I recognize, but this is not dal, and I can't identify it. My instinct is telling me not to eat it, so I'm not going to eat it. I can't guarantee what's in there. It should just be bean, but I'm just going to play it safe. And the rice. Unfortunately, I don't think I can eat the rice, mainly because I don't know what's in it. I thought I was just getting rice. It just looks like a rice pilaf, but if they use chicken broth or something that, or veggie broth that has barley in it or something, I can't eat it. And they don't have an ingredients list, so I'm just not going to take a chance because it's not worth it. Made it to Singapore. We made it to Singapore. We're a little exhausted, so we're just gonna get a grab and go to our hotel.
Well, we made it to Singapore.
It was a long trip, but it wasn't as exhausting as economy class. So.
No, but we have been traveling now for a little over 28 hours since we left Vancouver, so we're pretty bagged. So we're gonna end the video here. We'll continue tomorrow and do a room tour of the hotel we're staying at and go show you around Singapore a little bit. But for now, I'm gonna try and find a little bit of food and we're gonna get some sleep.
Stay curious and keep exploring.
See ya.